Hello and welcome back, and a special welcome back to all those joining us from Darius's anime visual novel stream. That one just ended. So here you are in the LPL. Of course, that was the LPL waiting room. Now, we're back here for our second game now between Suning Gaming and Rogue Warriors. Now, I just need Suning Gaming to find a fight and close out a game. That's all I want. That's all I want for Christmas.
Yep.
That's all I want.
I'm not too sure why they didn't, but at the end of the day, Rogue Warriors did still get that victory. And for Suning Gaming, I definitely think that their composition was built to fight, was sculpted to do it. They had the opportunities, they had the gold lead, they had the objectives. Everything they could possibly want was theirs. They just never saw the chance to actually grasp that, to take the fight. And the one time they did, it was on vision. You know, it was a forced fight, and it was a fight that was botched and was just an even trade realistically in the end. So coming into this second game, I still got high hopes for Suning Gaming. I don't know if it'll be something they can fix mid-series, but we have seen some positive signs, and maybe just an easier draft would be the simple solution. Maybe, especially with a newer player on the lineup in the form of Angel. Now, he had a great individual performance, but if you're looking to maybe make it synergize with the entire team, you're right, maybe an easier draft, something where you just push all your R buttons together and then you win the game. Something like that could potentially work. I mean, the cannon coupled with something else definitely is a good way to start it, right? I think that if the Rakan was on their team, maybe that was the opportunity that they were looking towards, whereas it was a Shannon Illusion. And, you know, Sejuani may have been the kicker there in terms of that's what they actually had to do it, but Sejuani's engagers never found the same mark that the cannon could follow with. Seemed like that synergy wasn't there. Here's the prediction. Aatrox's final ban on red side from Suning Gaming into Doinb. Where is it? 10 seconds, probably going to give themselves more time to actually think about what they actually want to draft. But Rogue Warriors have banned away the Swain, Camille, and Zoe. And there it is, Aatrox, followed by the Nocturne and Kled from Suning Gaming. And if you don't ban the Aatrox, they pick it. If you ban the Aatrox, they get Talia. That's the way that it goes right now. Nocturne, Kled has to be banned. That's the other thing that forces this. And for the Rogue Warriors on their blue side, usually they'll be the one that bans either a Talia or a Nocturne. But this time, they get to prioritize picking it. They've set themselves up nicely here, and the start of the draft is Rogue Warriors. Yes, sir. Over to Suning Gaming now, looking towards a potential Gragas. There's a bunch left open for themselves, though, depending on what they want to craft themselves as a composition. Xin Zhao is also potential. And now Xin Zhao has actually been picked up a fair amount in the LPL. I believe 24 games so far, and has around a 30% win rate. So it's not done particularly well, though it has been picked a lot. It is one of the most picked champions just in jungle in solo queue as well. So it's a super strong champion. It's often picked into the Talia. So the risk there is, of course, if Talia gets ahead, she just snowballs on you. There's not a lot you can do. But if you get going and you get that Talia killed a lot, then things go very right for you. Just a snowball champion is the Xin Zhao. So naturally here, they'll lock that one into the Talia. That's the matchup they'll take. But at the same time, they've got the Rakan. So step one of what we suggested is already in place. Yes, indeed. There it is. Rogue Warriors over to them on blue side. It will just straight be a talent lock-in. All right, Doinb. Yeah, he's feeling it. He doesn't know what his matchup is in mid lane, but he knows what the jungle matchup is, and I think that's what matters to him the most. So he sees the Xin Zhao and he says, I'm free to take Smite, I'm free to play the jungle role here as Talon, and that's where he's going. We'll have to see how he actually goes in that position now. Yeah. Doinb's 1-1, but it was in Demacia Cup and lost one recently, a Rift Rivals with it against KT. Sure enough. Morgana will also be picked up for Rogue Warriors. Most likely going to be thrown down there in the bottom lane. Now Suning Gaming will lock in themselves a Lissandra. Now I quite like the Lissandra into this pickup in the mid lane. You'd have to assume it's the mid lane to try and way clear and stall this one out. And also ulting yourself pretty good, or even ulting the Talon once he's jumped in. Also fantastic. Most definitely. And when you know that most Talons that run around have Smite, you can play Lissandra. And you'll probably just kill him because he doesn't have a summoner spell that will be useful in surviving. And notice that Doinb has seen the Lissandra and he said, I am noping the heck out of Smite Talon. He has gone for a cleanse and he has recognized that that is something that he needs to still win this game. So smart from Doinb, but also smart from Angel and from Suning Gaming. And this is the other unknown factor for Rogue Warriors, because we don't really have tape yet of what Angel plays. You know, behind him is Fen, so it's like, well, it's either going to be Kassadin or Irelia. But now with Angel, what does he play? Well, we've seen him play Zeri, and now he's playing Lissandra. And note, I have to give some extra credit to Suning Gaming. They've seen the talent, they're banning magic damage players, champions in the bottom lane of the Karthus. That is the SMLZ special. You have a talent that can blow someone's health bar up, and Karthus will always make the difference there in getting a kill as it's global. You know what else is open, though, that is an AP damage shield that SMLC has played? Begins with H and ends with Imadonga. Yes, that's definitely true. You're making these very easy. It starts with H and ends with Imadinger. What is it?
I want to make it easy for you. Can't have any hiccups on this show. Darius and Mundo will be the runouts from Rogue Warriors. Just very solid top laners there from Xiao Ao. And it will be a Xayah this time around for Suning Gaming. So they'll actually take the Lovers duo themselves.
Yeah, they don't actually get rid of that one, as Rogue Warriors, with no hesitation, have seen your Xayah Rakan. They've stared down the barrel of a Xin Zhao and a Lissandra, and they have said, give me Caitlyn.
Yeah, that seems like a pretty SMLZ thing to do, to be honest. Rogue Warriors looking towards their final pick, and it will just be Gragas, actually hovered first by Suning, and finally going to find himself on the Rogue Warriors lineup.
Gragas is a very strong champion at the moment. We haven't seen a lot of him just yet in the LPL, but top lane Gragas is starting to become very prevalent also. So that's what you'll be seeing in this game. It should be top Gragas. He's picked up blind though, with Mundo and Darius gone. I don't think there's too much concern for whatever his matchup will be.
Yeah, and also when you don't have the likes of a Kled running around who's unstoppable during his ultimate, then Gragas' ultimate becomes even more valuable on that one.
And this is interesting, Pulse, because we've also got the Jarvan in the top lane. And
first one of the LPL.
Yeah, when we first saw it at Rift Rivals, we're like, maybe it's just a Ray thing, you know, but Jarvan has actually been seen a lot more. Jarvan is now being picked a lot more in the top lane, and he's into the Gragas this time. I wouldn't say he's the best matchup, but still a strong champion in his own right, and that's a lot of damage from Suning Gaming. It's a lot of potential engage from these bruises that'll be running around. And you got the Rakan with it. That is such a snowball composition if ever I have seen one.
Oh yeah.
That's just Suning Gaming to a T. So we'll have to see if they can make that early game work this time around, or will they let Rogue Warriors scale up?
I'll be honest, Rusty, I like this a lot because coming into this game we were saying, well, I want Suning Gaming to come in with something that's a little easier to execute, maybe just like a press R and win composition. Well, I see a lot of R buttons right there that are press R and win, so that feels pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, Rogue Warriors have got a press R and disengage type of composition though, so it'll be very interesting to watch the dichotomy of team fights, like who actually comes out on top and how is it executed for success. Because a Jarvan and a Xin Zhao can jump forwards together, a Lissandra can jump forwards, and so can a Rakan. But with all the terrain that gets created, can a Xayah? You know, can she actually contribute to the team fight with damage? Or Rogue Warriors just be able to stand on the spot and deliver with the Caitlyn Morgana, Gragas to disengage, Talia to cause disarray in the ranks of a team fight. I think both comps are good in very different ways.
Yeah, there's definitely ways into this game. There's also a way that this turns into a 3-game set here as well. Also, just the avarice coming in from Rogue Warriors. The fact that, like, second rotation is like, I'm just going to lock in a Talon. I see the Xin Zhao, I don't know what the mid laner is. And wants to go towards the Smite Talon, and then it's just like, oh, Angel plays Lissandra, has to swap towards the Cleanse. It's like, things like this, which is, yes, you can adapt on the fly depending on what gets picked up, but it's not like the final trap card that's been activated at the end of Champions League. It's like, well, I want to play Talon, so I'm going to play Talon.
I mean, as much as people want Smite on your mid laners, there's a time and a place for it, and this doesn't feel like the time for doing B. Once that cleanse as much as he can, otherwise he's not going to have any kind of relevance past level 6 into a Lissandra. Even in the team fighting, if they're able to disengage you very well, and should just get popped. 4v5s do not sound like an ideal situation for Rogue Warriors. But the same thing applies. When you look at Rogue Warriors' roster, Talia does the magic damage in the jungle role, so there is a big reliance on that early game start here. And against Suning Gaming, that's a big gambit, it's a big risk.
It is. You also have to forget that think about that Morgana though, because that could be a major disruption to the Lissandra if she's trying to lock someone down. If Lissandra isn't going in and just ulting herself, so it's going to be really nice. Also mentioned to the Jarvan obviously, because like you can't black shield yourself out of terrain, but for the Rakan as well, you know, there's a lot of things that the black shield can block if SMLZ suddenly gets huge or your carry becomes a Talon, you know.
Yeah, I mean, as this matchup dictates from just the teams and the styles of the teams alone, the early game should be the deciding factor. But game number 1 hasn't been the prime example of that. It was a big blunder from Suning Gaming in mid-game, where they usually are still strong. But definitely comes down to a lot of clutch mechanical plays from individuals, as much as it is positioning, vision, and communication. That Morgana spell shield can ruin everything against Suning.
Definitely something that they have to think about 100%. I do have an update for you guys. You're probably just wondering why we're just you know, sat here. But there is a small issue with the lobby, so no peripheral issue. It's just literally just everyone get out, get back in, and then we'll hopefully start the game once again. So.
Every time we get these two players on your screen, it's so funny to watch.
It's just the contrast, man.
It's night and day. It's heads and tails, man.
Yeah.
One of them is just happy to be here, and the other one is doing B.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I got it backwards.
No, I gotcha. I don't know if anyone saw my helpful SMLZ emotion chart. It shows you exactly what he's feeling in every
This is
scenario.
Anticipation.
This is yeah, exactly.
I think
That's
it's
also
like,
on the chart.
Yeah, I think it's a muddling of like anticipation and excitement because he got to carry and he's got Caitlyn. Like that's he's happy.
No, I know. I feel like a lot of people just look at SMLZ and they just don't understand him as a player. But we've seen hundreds of hours of this guy play, and also similarly a lot of time of this guy playing. So we know the subtle differences.
You know when you come home to your dog and your dog's like, "Oh my god, it's a human! I'm so happy." But then you come home to a cat and they're like, "I haven't been fed."
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's the emotional differences between Doinby and SMLZ right now. Like it's.
That makes sense. Yeah, I feel
One's just happy all the time about everything. The other one's just a cat. It's got its self-interested heart. You're like, you don't know what it's feeling because really it's just not feeling anything.
But you still love both of them.
Yeah,
that's the thing at the end of the day. Hey, that is a good analogy. That's probably like the first clean analogy of the day out of Famous. So good job, Rusty.
Might be my entire life.
Maybe, that's true. It doesn't stop when we get off air. That's for certain. Come on, guys. I heard that you were just trying to get back into a lobby. Your hands aren't even on the keyboard, Mouse.
Mouse is being a DJ right now.
Oh.
He's listening to his new mixtape.
Yep.
He's clearly got someone in his ears. And the teams I would believe by this stage are allowed to talk. You can see, of course, a couple of conversations going now. So.
Yep. It's like, why do you have an L in your name? Why is it capitalized? I don't know, man. It's probably a good idea.
I've never understood it. Why people have random letters capitalized, and honestly I think the answer is it's an English word and they like the look of the letter, like when it's capitalized more than it is when it's normal. I feel like it's actually that simple.
Yeah, maybe.
Like again, I'll come back to the Vivid example. Maybe he just likes a big D.
Capital D, yeah, 100%. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of a Western player who's like randomly capitalized.
I have no idea.
Yeah, maybe less. I mean, it used to happen more back when people, you know, did the terrible like Call of Duty like XX.
Oh yeah, but that doesn't count. That's
no, but I mean like they would capitalize and you know, lowercase some things.
Yeah.
Also, since I've been named Pulse for such a long time, usually because it's a pretty generic name, it's always taken when I try and make an account for something.
Okay.
So what I do for most fonts, a capital I looks like a normal L.
Oh,
so,
yes.
yeah, I just capitalize the I, and then no one's the wiser. But then they try and add me as a friend, and it's like, wait, why is what?
Is it Double Lift that used to have that?
Maybe.
There was a NA player that had a capital I think it was, instead of an L.
Yeah.
I think it was Double Lift.
I mean, who is called, like, no one's going to take your name if your name is Double Lift. Like, it's like 2 words, man.
No, there was one. I think it was him.
Maybe. But yeah, there you go. So if you have, you know, a randomly generated name and it happens to contain an L, then capitalize your I's. Boom. But then people try and add you, and it's just like, oh, added the wrong person.
That's all a part of the plan.
Yeah, that's true.
You can have accents above your letters.
I mean, that's that guy's fault, right? The guy who stole my name, it's his fault. So now he's just getting inundated with random friend requests.
Well, there's a caster from Oceania, Pulse. His name is Spawn.
Yeah.
You can't add him as a friend because he has an accent on the A. So unless you know what the alt code is, you can't actually add him as a friend.
Well, which one is it? Like a squiggly line?
No, it's the...
Like an umlaut or what?
I don't... What?
Huh? An umlaut.
What's that?
So in German, there's like umlauts, and you like extend the...
Is that the eyes?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a weird name for him.
Umlaut.
That's eyes.
Yep.
Double dots.
If it's like an O umlaut, I may be getting this wrong, but if it's a O umlaut or an U umlaut, then it's like you just extend the sound. Whereas the, well, maybe the. So, no.
You know what? As a
Strasser.
tangent, it's very hard to think at the moment because you guys won't know this, but there is a spotlight. Just having at it with us. It's having a great time.
Oh, we've got a wild fish coming over.
It's just
Is he the jumping sound from earlier?
If Fish could stand to the right of our camera and block that spotlight, I might stop crying.
No, right a little bit.
Oh my
God. You're left.
Well, now it's just blocked
Exceptional.
for you and not me.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Raz, come over here and pick Fish up, then turn him sideways. Actually, this is perfect. Thanks, Fish.
Hey, he's done it.
And take a picture.
Now, you guys don't know this. Fish is absolutely a good bloke right now. This is life-saving, actually. I'm starting to see spots in my vision from that spotlight.
Yeah, you're going to see a bit of flashing. There you go. I'm going to post this on Twitter later so people can see what Fish is doing. What an absolute bro. Cheers, Fish.
You can't hold that for long.
Nah. Unless you've got like an insane core.
Better.
Yeah.
This has been a weird conversation that you guys won't understand because you've just got players on your screen, but note that we appreciate it.
However, if we do pan to wide, then we will actually see, you know, the crazy flashing lights that are just ruining our lives right now.
That's true.
Speaking of core, Rusty and I tried yoga the other day, actually with fish. That was horrific. My god.
That's great.
Destroyed me for 3 solid days. Hey, okay, we've got the compositions coming up on our screen. Cheers, Fish. I'll see you later on the analyst desk. Thank you very much, sir, for your contribution. And once again, we'll be heading into the second game between Rogue Warriors and Suning Gaming. Currently 1 game up, and it was a smashing first game coming in from Rogue Warriors.
See those lights? Those are the ones.
Yep. And they were flashing a couple of minutes ago in the worst possible way. Anyways, we're getting onto the rift finally. Here we go, ladies and gents. I'm going to hand it over to the audience in Shanghai.
A lot of fans here in the Shanghai Arena for Suning Gaming. They're always an exciting team to watch, and you're going to pick a team to be a fan of. You could pick these upstart rookies that are showing time and again their capabilities. It's Kalua. Uh-oh.
Knocked up. That's a lot of damage. Flash forwards, Ring of Frost. Yes, Angel. That's going to be first blood to Fury.
Now, Lysandra did start W, so it's not going to be the Q in lane. Of course, that means that Talon will have a lot of freedom, and he did go back to the smite at the end. It's not the cleanse, so he's committed himself to the cause. It's also a predator.
Yes, it is.
On Doinby. He's really feeling himself on those roams. It's tragic that that's the way it's going to play out for Kalua, but he didn't use anything, and there was an ignite and a flash used, so it's more upsetting than anything else that the gold went to Fury.
Yeah, to be honest. He's also not going to go back to base unless he gets his first push, so that's only going to really be felt on his first back and not right now. So, in fact, in a weird way, there is actually an advantage over to Rogue Warriors.
Now, often you'll see Talons go towards the Raptors first.
Yeah.
It is easier to take that camp, and it's quicker to take that camp as well. But because he went to the Wolves and he played it expertly, gets the full camp, and I don't think he actually missed a single minion of experience. He got in range for that last one. So very well done from Doinby.
It's a new route for sure. He started Q, didn't start Rake.
Yeah, we saw it earlier in the day that they tried to do the Raptors as well, but they lost the first 3 minions.
Yes.
So that's usually the thing that you'll notice from that. However, we didn't see anything.
Hey. 8 to 12. It's fine. He got an assist under his belt. That's going to even it up. Yeah, still 70% for the fan vote. 74% to Rogue Warriors. Of course, that's flipped.
Who will win game 2, of course. Rogue Warriors, heavy favorites. Unsurprisingly. They've got a Caitlyn in this bottom lane. Now, we did have an extended pause, so if you're just joining us, Caitlyn was the champion of choice picked into Zaya Rakan near immediately, so no hesitation was locked in by SMLZ. He's got the teleport Caitlyn. He wants to siege that bottom lane, get himself unlocked, maybe get those towers. It's the same old Caitlyn that you all know and either love or hate. Just picked in a very weird time, because you don't often see that champion in this meta. But we said this last game, Pulse.
Yes.
With the resurgence of Stormrazor, with crit AD carries potentially coming back, this could be the beginning of Caitlyn starting to crop up.
We said it, but ultimately you said it. This is the Rusty prediction, folks. Right here, right now, in before the crit comes back. The Prophet.
We also said Jhin, but Caitlyn's a pretty nice example.
That's true, yeah. Close enough, right? Flawless sitting in the brush. Ooh. Connects that one. That's going to be a flick backwards. That's going to be a lot of damage. Remember, has to dance all the way through those pebbles being thrown. So fantastic stuff coming from Flawless, covering all of those routes. And Yoon, yes, he's got a couple pots, but that's going to be all of them burnt.
And you know, the crazy thing there is that might have been a kill if Flawless waited a half-second longer for the Caitlyn trap to engage.
Yep.
That would have been the bonus headshot damage, and that could have actually been the kill secured. And I do not fault Flawless for just throwing it out when he had the opportunity. But it's super tragic to note that that may have been the difference.
Top lane Mouse obviously having a bad time. The shout out not connecting any of these flag and Drags just a follow up afterwards.
It's just so hard to lane against the Jarvan in general.
Yeah.
Gragas is a strong champion, but has been pushed out with 12 CS, so he'll be lucky to get himself any items. It's just a Doran's ring. Jarvan's got control. Xiao on the Jarvan as well. We called him a big carry, and that's exactly what he needs to be.
Yeah, I mean, he's little Owl, and those were very little ultimates that we were seeing out of him. in the last game, unfortunately. And Flawless is on his way to the top lane. Flag drag unstoppable on that one. So Flawless looking for the flick.
The teleport was used, so any damage is good.
Oh, walking against the wall. Nice sidestep. Walking back towards this one. Here comes Hacker and the mid lane teleport as well. Angel turns up to the play and Flawless running away. He's level 3 and he is dead. Hacker finds the kill.
It's a nice idea in theory. SMLZ now in trouble.
Kiting back in the bot lane. He's going to take another double dagger to the back of the head and he's ticking down. Will be a flash forward. Fury not going to be enough on this one. Takes a tower shot. SMLZ without a flash.
SMLZ has teleport, so he could go back to base right now. He's going to stay around, get those extra minions first, and be as efficient as he possibly can with that recall timing. But he's lucky to be alive. The flash forwards from Fury just miscalculates by the smallest of margins. SMLZ is able to withstand that early onslaught from the Zyra Khan, that early kill threat that is always available.
Now that was a full BF sword just being picked up there by Fury, however, so keep that in mind. Yes, he's behind in farm, but he still has that first blood kill gold over to himself.
Oh no, you're not going to get to recall for free.
No, he's not. Yoon's going to stop him, and the support's gone back. SMLZ is going to find a late teleport to this one, but we'll see if it actually hurts him though.
Just a greedy recall in general. He's got the teleport, so it doesn't matter too much. He'll be okay. It's a nice little punish there from Yoon to force that one, and you're right, the BF sword will still be matched. It's just a good start here from Sinning Gaming.
I mean, 2-0 feels pretty good if you're Sinning Gaming again, a lead in the early game, and it seems to be the recurring trend with this team, not just against Rogue Warriors, but Sinning Gaming, they fight fast, they fight hard. The problem is always going to be closing in the end, but the fact that they're consistently able to find advantages in the early game, especially against a top 4 team in the LPL, is really something to be feared. If they fix step 2, they will be a top 4, top 5 team.
If they fix step 2 or even just add a step 3 so they have a late game. Like when you contrast a lot of the strong rookie teams that we've had coming into this league, it's JD and Sinning Gaming. Came in at the same time. JD started strong, Sinning finished strong, and then through every split they have gotten better. But Sinning Gaming have always been early in mid game, JD Gaming have always been early in late game. But they both had 2 steps and they both missed the third. The second JD found a third step. They're now 5-1 in the standings. They've beaten RNG and they're looking resoundingly strong.
Yeah, very true. Hacker. Oh, he's waiting for Kahlua. Go on, you know you want bush control.
He's waiting for SMLZ, surely. There's no
giving
flash.
up the bottom side. He's going to jump onto SMLZ. Instant black shield is good, but Hacker going to follow through. What was that damage?
That was insane damage coming out of Hacker, and Sinning Gaming get themselves the kill. That was no flash on SMLZ. No spell shield's going to save you from the amount of damage they just put down in the physical sense, and you're done.
He just came in there with the swiping pike, and he's just dead. Well, all right, cool. That's going to be a kill. Just Suning 2 kills now over to the jungler. He's got skirmishes.
And I don't know if it was intentional, but Kahlua has 2 points in his binding, 2 points in his black shield. If he had all of his points towards the black shield, may have been enough. Prevented the knockup, could have walked away on the turret. True. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. I forget if he was even level 5 at that time.
So it may have just leveled up from the solo experience he was getting in the bot lane, that's for certain. But Hacker, he goes from the bot lane to the mid lane, pushed in the wave, and lets Angel find himself a back. And Flawless in the jungle, I mean, maybe he's out-tempoing Hacker in terms of the farm right here, but in terms of the kills, wow, even gets that one away from Doinby, who jumped over the wall with his smite. Doinby jumps on towards him, pops the ultimate. Hacker says, get the heck away from me.
Yeah, all of the bleed went.
Oh, you know, he's feeling this one. He jumps on towards his red buff, gets the heal out here. He's running away. Break, not going to be quite enough damage. Oh! Finds the blast cone. Here comes Angel on the top lane. Hacker escapes from the play. Hacker's just playing out of his mind.
Yeah, Hacker survives 2-0, so no shutdown to be seen for Doinby. At the same time, unfortunately, for Sinning Gaming, he saves Doinby's life whilst getting himself out in that great escape. Great stuff here from Sinning Gaming through that early game. Looked a little bit awkward, I will say. It was a bit janky there early. Going back to the red buff just to smite it instead of running away. But then realized that he was on the wrong side of the map. And if you continue to run through the jungle against the Talon, he will find you. That guy's Liam Neeson in the jungle. There are walls everywhere.
But if you go over the same wall, you can't jump over back over the wall again. So you got to keep that in mind. And also remember that was in the bottom lane. They're very much in. SMLZ is super dead in the bottom lane.
Good lord, this Caitlyn is not doing anything.
Please stop.
Fury and Yoon still controlling in the bottom lane 2v2, and if a Caitlyn doesn't have control, that's already the signs of a very poor game to perhaps be seen here by Rogue Warriors. And we were looking at what could have even been the start of a 2-0 set, but no. Sinning Gaming lose game 1, and that's the problem. I still feel that lingering concern in this game. Strong start, but can it be translated to mid-game?
I mean, frankly, Rusty, I look at Rogue Warriors, and they're a very hyphy team. right? They win game 1 and just like, yeah, we stopped them the momentum in game, and now we have momentum in the series. Let's lock in the talent, let's lock in SMLZ's Caitlyn, you know, let's make things happen. And once again, the momentum has been stopped. You know, it's almost cocky to a certain point from the draft coming in here from Rogue Warriors. Like, it makes sense, but at the end of the day, this was literally those plays. Like, Doinby was on his turn, and he was like, talent, it's mine.
I mean, if ever there was a time,
Caitlyn.
you know, in a best of 3, I think now is the time to do it,
right?
Oh, regardless of whether it's cockiness, whether it's arrogance, whether it's just momentum, now is the time to pick those champions and experiment nonetheless. So I don't mind it here from Rogue Warriors.
It's just if you're looking for the 2-0, you know, at the end of the day.
Yeah. And 2-0 is not really worth bonus points here. I know in other leagues in the world, it is worth a lot more.
Yep.
And I do know that it matters, of course, to not lose maps for the LPL, but not in the same regard.
No, there's a lot of things that come before that, namely series wins you get towards the end of the split. And to be honest, Rogue Warriors is one of those teams who are going to be pretty much locked in for playoffs regardless, and a pretty good seeding at that when you hit the goal.
And we also play 19 best of 3s per split.
Yeah, Rusty, we've played 111 games so far in the LPL.
Yeah.
Let that sink in for you folks who are an EU and NA viewer. 111. It's a lot.
The 4th week of the LPL to have that many games, and that's more than you'll get in a full split if you're an EU or NA.
Yeah. And this is week 4, you're right, we've got another 200-something games coming your way. Plus playoffs.
Lord have mercy.
On everybody in this venue, frankly. Again, another challenge over the Raptors. And I think this time Doinby actually got away with it. Oh no, he didn't use the smite, so maybe not. Again, bottom lane, jumping in, Yoon. He's found SMLZ before the Black Shield once again. He was thinking about moving on to Kahlua. Yeah, defensive Shackles comes in. He's got to do that one, otherwise SMLZ under attack once again. Oh, Doinby walks face first into the tomb. And this will indeed be his as Hacker. Just needs to poke him once more. There you go.
Yeah, they'll get the kill. Hacker not going to die either, so definitely is able to survive. Lots of damage to be seen in Rogue Warriors. Losing the bottom lane 2v2, dying in the rotation towards the bottom lane. Everything going wrong. And the gold lead starting to cascade very heavily in Sinner Gaming's favor once again. And this is that moment where you can see it's a QSS done for Doinby. He might have regrets for swapping away from that cleanse.
Man, what that looked like was like a razor wire. What's the equivalent of you know, like a crosswire at the feet, but it's like at the neck?
A what? A crosswire?
Like a clothesline, like that type of thing.
Oh.
Because he just like walked straight in the middle of them and just insta-died.
I think he just walked into a fridge. I'm sticking to fridge.
I mean, to be fair, Lasange's ultimate is basically a fridge, if you think about it. Yeah. So, yeah, there you go.
There you go. Thank you for validating that.
It's all good. I tried very hard.
That was a QSS from Doinby as well. Of course, there's no ultimate from the Sandra, so it's not the worst choice to use it now. There's no real threat in terms of crowd control coming from other lanes, except for Yoon. And when you actually look at him, I think there's only 2 engaged tools.
It's not going to match the fridge, though, because the fridge is going to come up in, like, I don't know, 15 to 20-something seconds, and Doinby's QSS has a way longer cooldown than that, so...
Yeah, I mean, ultimately in mid lane, you're not trying to interact in the lane. It's mispositioning gets you caught by a W, then that's your mistake, but outside of that laning phase, the way that they even killed Doinby was by not interacting with him in lane, but leaving and meeting him where he was going to be. Because that's all a talent does.
Yeah,
he rushed Mobies and a team out. So again, that is
I wonder what he's looking for, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
Hopefully it will not be the case one more time. But again, that was also a vision play, you know, just having superior vision. Suning Gaming are playing the early games always so well, but it's not just blindness aggression. Blind aggression. You know, it's just the fact that they actually set up these plays in a very cerebral way, which is just impressive on all fronts. It's just like at that point when you're like the 20-25 minute mark, where it's just like they kind of just lose their mind. You know, you want like more of an EDG follow-up where you have a strong early game, but you actually transition it into fights or like, you know, set plays.
This is going to be, I mean, ultimately here for Sinner Gaming, this should be the point where they win. You look at their items that they've completed, they should just dive bottom, they should kill both of them, or they're going to go mid instead.
Xiao Owls here doesn't choose to turn this into a Cataclysm.
Talon can get out of it.
What? Focus down the tower. Here comes the wall right here. 2 versus 3 right now. And there's the Cataclysm. Doinby jumps away, but he's going to get knocked up and slapped back down. Flawless in place. He flashes away on this one, but it lines him against the wall. An Angel wall support. Shout out for the final kill there. Almost gets taken down by the tower. 2 more kills and mid lane to Suning.
And Xiao L will barely live. 7-0 in kills. Towers fall. Mountain Dragon belongs to him. And 4,000 very quickly creeps up to 10 with how fast they're able to accelerate this game. Looking very good on the side of Sinner Gaming. in this second game so far.
Now, I don't wish to alarm you, Rusty, and this is a fellow one from our last series.
I know what you're going to say, and I don't want you to say it.
Oh, you know the wall, looking for another kill, and
Wow.
he's in, and he's out, and there's a smash and grab. That's just going to be an instant kill over to Suning.
That was nuts. That was actually just really
hectic,
good from them. 8-0 suddenly from 7. The Storm Razor Zaya does a lot of damage, and when a Rakan starts to snowball, you better believe they're going to take every opportunity to go forwards onto you. And suddenly, it's even harder for Rogue Warriors to deal with it. They're going to lose their bottom lane outer turret as a Caitlyn composition.
It's true.
Yeah, it bloody hurts.
Yes, it does. Domi clearing out the mid wave, but he's behind a farm against Angel, bottom lane. Ah, yeah, take that. Fury's going to be up in farm again against SMLZ, top lane the same, even though he's been roaming so much.
Oh. Yeah, nice. Storm Razor, of course, with Caitlyn traps. That's great.
Yeah, turns out. Yeah, it's going to be a Storm Razor to a Storm Razor on both sides. That's coming in here, but yeah, that is the reason why it hurts and why it works, but unfortunately in the end there, that's Barlome has firmly gone over to Fury and Yoon, and honestly a lot of it has been Yoon making those plays. Every single time, every single ultimate I think has had an impact or a kill at the very least from him.
Yeah, Yoon's been playing very well so far, and it is the duo bottom lane. Because I definitely have something in my throat, it sounds like it. Zion Rakan was... Yep. It was on the red side from both teams. Even from Rogue Warriors in that first game. And it's interesting that through the second draft that wasn't prioritized, that wasn't drafted for or against, it was just picked on red side. And you would imagine that Caitlyn was the response to it, as you can see that minion for just a half of a second spotted the recall.
Wow.
It was a leap of faith, but it was one that was massively successful. And you know what? Even if it failed, Rakan can get to safety.
Yep. I've seen many leap of faiths go way worse than that, typically from Malawi players. Hey, in-game reference. But no, it constantly just good from Yoon every single time. However, Doinby on his way to the bot lane, 2 versus everybody. Yoon backing away, Fury with the ultimate, double flash away, and that was a sick route coming in onto Kaloa. And Suning Gaming, yes, they burn all their summoners, but they're away.
Yeah, they're alive and they're hitting the Rift Herald at the same time, so they're able to just completely disengage. Mouse is hyper aware of it, however, on what side of the map they will be, so he won't die on top of all of this. But Rogue Warriors, they've recognized the state of the game. They have said, we are so far behind on this map, all of us except for top laner 0 and 2. So we need to make a play. Even though they don't get the kills, they get the turret. So that's a trade for them. It's not going to be a positive trade in the end, but it is a trade.
It is indeed. It's not nothing for nothing, or nothing for something. It's, yeah, top lane managed to pick up this tower. Should be Shao and Angel picking this one up. Yeah, going to be a good mid laner. Give this gold over to Little Owl up there, 300 gold to him. And that was also a Rift Herald going down over to Hacker as well. So he'll be able to open up a lane of his choice. Well, all lanes are currently with 1 tower down if you're looking at Rogue Warriors, so it will be an inner tower. And that's pretty much perfect. Hey, if you're looking for a way to accelerate once again and continue to try and close out this game, if you're Suning, well, you are primed. The gun is locked and loaded, and it has a Shelly inside it.
Yeah, they just need to hit it home, place it somewhere. I mean, you've got a lot of time. There's a dragon that's up, so if you wanted to use it as a distraction, place it topside, go for the dragon. Always a possibility. If you wanted to wait until the longest possible point and use it at the last second, you could go towards a Baron power play even potentially and place it on the bottom side of the map. So, ball's in their court. They can do what they want with it.
Can indeed. Doinby again moving to top side, just getting himself a bit more farm, but currently it's just components of a penetration item. He still has kind of the pick and mix in the mid lane, which means that Suning will find themselves a pretty free dragon right here.
Yeah, that's the thing a QSS can do to you though, Pulse. When there's a Malzahar, or in this case a Lissandra, you don't have cleanse, you have to build a QSS, and that delays so much of your item spikes and your damage output, and it really affects you. If you're playing Talon and you can't one-hit someone, there's no Karthus to hit that home with you in this case, of course, then you really do feel that pain.
I mean, Doinby in Champion Select was even thinking about taking the cleanse at the end of the day, which would have freed up that slot and the amount of gold that he had to spend in the first place.
You do lose the smite though, and I feel like losing the smite is losing a lot of the identity of the reason you're picking Talon. So it's a risky thing in the end of the day, but I respect he commits to the smite and builds a QSS naturally. It's just that they lost early game and it hurts harder when you lose early.
I just think the Lissandra pickup was sick coming in from Angel. The fact that A, he can play, and B, the fact that Doinby picks up second rotation on his Talon, and Angel's like, well, joke's on you, I have Lissandra, right? So Either you take cleanse and you don't have smite, or you build QSS behind in gold and don't snowball in the early game. It was just really nice coming out from Angel.
Yeah, definitely. Having champion diversity. Fen wouldn't be playing this Lysandra right now.
Absolutely not. He'd be on Caston probably.
Yeah, actually, well, I mean, Cassidy's quite good in a Talon.
Yeah, I know.
So, you wouldn't be wrong.
I just like Lysandra more, is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
An 8-0. Tower's gone down though, so no perfect game, unlucky. But we were close to a second Rusty and Button.
You're not getting it. Rogue Warriors are not the kind of team to get perfect game. They will throw 5 people at someone that's just, you know, a teamo out of position.
True.
They will kill that person if all 5 of them have to die for it.
They'll throw hands, and if that doesn't work, they'll throw legs. And that doesn't hurt, they'll throw their head as well. They'll just run at you.
They'll give me the headbutt. They'll bite if necessary. It's not even in the rule book. They'll just throw the
They'll
teeth
play
in.
dirty. That is 100% true of Rogue Warriors. But currently everybody's 0-2. Apart from top lane, Matt's feeling pretty good about life currently, but everybody else is 0-2 on the map.
And where is Hacker going to use the Herald? That's what we're looking at. Mid lane in the turret is still the easiest one to go towards. You've got the Xayah hard pushing it. Jarvan even disappeared from lane for a time there, so right now they're looking for Doinby. If they can find him in rotation towards perhaps the middle lane, then they win the game. They can place the Herald, they can get a turret for it, and they'll snowball really, really hard. At the moment, I think they're going to do the exact thing that we perhaps even suggested. They're going to wait till the last second, place it late. Doinby.
Oh, he's caught out by Yoon once again, goes into the Shadow Sword, but I know exactly where you are, Sunshine. He's going to go down, and Angel will find him.
Disrespectful from the Talon here, goes towards the Gromp with no vision of the opposing side, and they have been missing for a long time. Herald's also going to get a full charge off here onto the turret. They look like they're just going to take that charge and leave it. That's going to get the turret though.
Yes, it will.
Smack it.
Season Jao got it, but in reality it was actually Shelly. Well, he's being pushed in though, but yeah, Master's going to collect it. He will bring him down. Or her down.
And it is an item spike finally for the Rogue Warriors side. You know, the Zeal with the Storm Razor, so a bit of extra attack speed after the initial crit. It's just to spot the Baron, it's not being done.
Scouting wall.
You've got your Duskblade now done for Doinby on that Talon, and you've got the Oblivion Orb on alongside your completed jungle item here for Talia. So they're not completely poor. They are behind.
Do you think that counts as littering? Probably not, because it doesn't stick around for the whole time. Because Baron's like, why are you just putting this in my home? You know what I mean? But whereas you put down like a Caitlyn trap, that's like littering, because it does stay for a long time.
I mean, you could call it that, but if he doesn't have home insurance, then it doesn't really matter.
That's true. Does Baron have home insurance? It's a great question.
Probably not, because there is someone that just sits in his house for 20 minutes.
I mean, you probably have life insurance, if you think about it.
I don't think Shelly's a renter.
Like an Airbnb? It's probably like an Airbnb, right?
No, I'm pretty sure that she's just...
A squatter?
Yeah, squatter.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. Xiao in the bottom lane, he's got teleport, so we'll be able to teleport to display. Doinby is the one to match him, though. So Master's going to have to go back to base and be the one to match Xiao Ao. Because currently, the better lane assignment's definitely going to Sune.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for what it's worth, I really struggle to see a way into this game at all for Rogue Warriors. So they've
Random
got the
mid-game team fight.
Yeah, I mean, that usually is the only way Rogue Warriors will make this one work. 2 items done for the Caitlyn, so if ever there was a time to start to look for it, even though they're on the back foot, it's coming up shortly. Mouse is finally in the correct spot. Uh-oh.
Not going to find him on this one. Finds a flash, though. Flawless is one less a flash.
Yeah.
Ah, got him.
You need to stop doing that, SNLZ. He's just getting his damage stats up.
Does it count against shields? I guess it does, right?
There's damage. He's still at risk of dying, and he's probably not going to get a chance to use the ultimate in a fight until the very, very end moment, so...
Yeah, Ace in the hole is like one of those things that just feels really sad unless you're stacking AD. I remember the penetration for a little bit, and it was just like, whoa, starts to hurt. But yeah, since there's no execute damage, it's literally just a nuke, and it's just a little bit sad.
Oh, they haven't cleared the pit.
No, they have not.
Step number 1. Clear the pit. They got the scuttle. There we alright, he's got it.
Hey.
They no longer have vision, and it is control warded to boot. So Rogue Warriors have bought a bit of time there with that blue trinket, but they have no blue trinkets left. And they have no control wards left.
But they've got heart, Rusty. That's what they do have. Now we need to see it in this mid lane.
They need Captain Planet more than they need just heart.
They need to dig deep in this one.
It's good from Mouse.
Yep. Clear on the backside as well. And Suning just controlling this river really, really well. They've strangled them with vision. There's no blue trinkets up, as you mentioned. Still no control what's have been picked up, even though a play went back to base up
this time. So the question is, can Rogue Warriors get there? It's going to be done so quickly.
Oh. Yeah, this one's gone. Here comes the wall. Jumping over the wall right there. No, staying in the pit, flying a drag over the wall, and Xiao Ao has found an opponent. It's Doinby, and he doesn't want any of this. Hacker's going to jump away, but he's going to burn out from this one. Stop, drop, and roll, not enough for him. But SMLZ caught out. He's dead. Xiao Ao going to town, looking for a third. He's going to be blocked up, but the flashing forwards. Fury finishes off what the Jarvan started.
Yeah, you'll take the one kill for Rogue Warriors, but at the end of the day, they lose the Baron, they lose the team fight very comprehensively. All that's left is Doinby, and suddenly they step up, they win, they push forward. Sinner Gaming now threatening the inhibitor, and they should be able to take this one down for free. Very strong stuff here in this second game.
Threatening the inhib, maybe threatening more. Death time is now coming up. SMLZ 7 seconds was the same, and Mouse just behind them, so it will be the inhib and back away. Dormy was seeing if we could find a quick frag on the backside of that onto you. Not going to happen. And that will be a massive play coming in from Suning. Doinby still chasing after, but enhanced recalls. So we're home safe and dry if you're Suning Gaming, especially the mid laner.
Yeah, even the Mountain Drake potentially on the way out is a possibility. I don't know if they'll go straight towards it as Rogue Warriors respawn, but the fight starts, the Baron's already gone, the Gragas cask is already used, and Doinby is completely zoned from assassinating Fury as he jumps away. Xiao Ao sees him jump and says, alright, my time to shine, comes in and smacks everyone repeatedly until they die. That was a lot of damage from Titanic Hydra. So Clue is also very quick to follow here. Flashes used on the back end by Suning Gaming simply to follow up and get the kills completed because they were winning the fight without a need for summoner spells. Just well executed.
It's literally one kill on one tower. It's pretty much all that Rogue Warriors have to their name. They're 10,000 gold down, 2 dragons, 5 towers, 12 kills. Like, Suning Gaming are so far ahead. And they're doing step 2, Rusty. It's happening. They're closing.
It is. They just need that step 3, and that's late game if it gets to it. Usually they try and circumvent that from happening at all. Win before late game has to happen. On the side of Rogue Warriors, that's all they've really got left for themselves, is that fleeting illusion of, can I scale?
I mean,
realistically, they shouldn't be allowed to.
The door has closed, they just need to lock it. And they're trying to find the key. I don't have a Yasuo, so it's difficult.
Only Yasuo has a key. Thanks, Paul.
So good, Rusty. Jokes I can make of you. Suning Gaming pushing in the bottom lane, double control warding that one. Alpha move right there. Ooh, Fury taking a big hit. Here comes the barrel. On towards Hacker, but he's got the ultimate running. Join me on the backside, but oh, he's going to parkour over it. Yes, he is, into 4 members. Angel gunning up the front line, but oh, Suning Gaming blast the talent. And Xiao Ao, he's going in. SMLZ jumps away, turns around, Piltover comes through, but Kalua, he's going to bite it. 3 kills to Suning, and they are looking for this win.
Yeah, the game's completely over here for certain. Rogue Warriors, no chance to defend this one. Suning Gaming are taking us to 3.
Yes, they are. Suning Gaming, you're an international team. International what? We're going to take you to this 3rd and final game here tonight in Shanghai.
And it's a good showing from Suning Gaming, pull sharking us almost in that first game, getting smacked, not having a mid game, and coming into this second one looking super clean, closing it out easy as you'd like. And honestly, Rogue Warriors with no response available for themselves, and this is one of those moments where they pick the Caitlyn, they say we can have an early game, you know, get the siege composition going, get the turrets going. Talon can threaten dives so well once you've got leads and you've got vision control, but honestly, none of that could exist at all. Suning Gaming just closed them out. Fury and Yoon played out of their minds.
Yes, they did. I mean, that's pretty much everything there, Rusty. That was the whole thing in a nutshell. I mean, Suning Gaming, it's very rare. From game 1 to game 2 as a caster, you're just like, all right, well, I want this team to do X, Y, and Z. And then second game, they lose anyway. And it's like, oh, well. But then we went into the second game, and then between those 2 games, they just fixed everything. They did step 2 and they just won. So, I mean, good stuff, Suning Gaming. They did it.
And it's a hard thing to Black Shield or Rakan engage is the one thing that I can take away from this one. Kalua, even with awareness that Yoon's looking, couldn't get it done in time.
Yeah.
It just shows, firstly, that Yoon and Fury are very much willing to make the plays, be super aggressive, but secondly, they were timing it well, they were positioning very well for themselves, and they showed absolute mastery of the Zarya Rakan, and to me, that was the biggest thing. It just ended the game.
Yeah, 100%. And that 2 versus 2, no less, as well, from a comfort pick coming out of SMLZ. So, coming into the 3rd game, I want to see more come out of Rogue Warriors. For now, though, we're going to send it back to the Gallant's desk.
A lot of people want to see more coming out of Rogue Warriors because this is one of the Rift Rivals representatives. They just got it handed to them in game number 2. Suning took the aggression that we saw from game 1 and followed through to finish the game in game 2.
They were so close to getting Rusty to unbutton at least one button. That was basically what it was. It was so close to another perfect game. They were thankful that it wasn't an Invictus Gaming clean game out. But ultimately, Suning Gaming, early portions of the game, were so strong. And usually people would question giving an enemy team Xayah or Rakan. Most of the time it's through the frame of view of funneling the Xayah, but it was in the bottom side of the map together going up against the Caitlyn Morgana.
I mean, that was strange to me because yes, we saw Caitlyn Morgana being a popular pick during the latter half of Spring Split and was popular to be picked into Xayah Rakan. Now, it wasn't necessarily a counter pick. Teams figured out how to work around it, but it was a matchup that was at least stable in the bottom lane.
Yes.
A lot of things have changed moving to Summer Split. And yes, Caitlyn got some slight buffs and Storm Raiders looks good on her, but Suning were able to punish this.
Yeah, Caitlyn's a fragile champion. A lot of AD carries are. The reason she's going into this lane, the reason why it's different, she has to go the shield, Doran's shield. And even still, this matchup is so damn difficult, not even taking into the account that she received a lot of visitors with Hacker. This was fantastic though. Catching out Morgana, so they saw the backing of the Morg. It wasn't even a leap of faith. They saw the Caitlyn walk away, but they saw Morgana just sitting there channeling back. So an easy kill for them. It was just Fury taking full control of the laning phase with you and with a little bit of help with Hacker.
Yeah, we saw Hacker move into that bottom lane very early on. Great mechanical play on Sinjan to make sure he picks up the first kill for them and then just got the ball rolling. We saw initiation after initiation coming out from Yoon's Rakan. He played incredible. Wouldn't be surprised if he gets handed man of the match later on. Actually, yes, he gets handed man of the match as I'm being told.
There we have it. Producer, you don't even have to roll the tape. We just got it for you. We finished that one right quick. But yeah, 100%. Like they played that super well around Rakan. We were talking about him getting the pick going into game 2. It was just a surprise that the combination, the duo went through. And one thing to make a note of, a lot of people will be asking the question of why is Caitlyn getting picked anyways. She received 2 buffs, 1 direct, so she actually has her crit scaling up off her headshot procs to 50% to 100%. That's pretty nice. Also, Storm Razors, on top of that, once you just have rapid fire cannon, you get the full 200% damage. So it's very gimmicky, just means you're really headshot reliant. And that's what SMLZ was aiming for. You're not going to get that when you're getting slammed in lane.
And it's theoretically a good pick at the moment. Like even at Rift Rivals, we were thinking about how this is the non-hotfix patch. We're starting to see champions like Varus being played. So the question was, okay, since now we're on the hotfix patch coming back, we should see him played more. Caitlyn was another one of those picks, and we actually saw it being played by Suning.
The problem with Caitlyn is that she's not really relying on her utility, it's her damage. The fact that she has her range, so she's going to take a long time to scale up. A lot of the crit AD carries currently are just being played, specifically the Xayah, because she has great utility around her kit. Her core kit's strong, so she can get to that point. Caitlyn really requires a strong laning phase. They were hoping that Morgana would do that for them, but there were multiple times where Morgana's Black Shield was just not helping. They were coming a little bit too late. Sure, it's hard to time with Rakan, so that was another good point towards Yoon because he was on the ball quickly. Mind games were on point with him, but most of the blame will be looked towards the Morgana because Morgana was needed to be able to get Caitlyn out of the lane.
It's meant to be a strong duo lane, but Xayah Rakan is just a strong combination all round, able to punish that bottom lane matchup. And the criticism we had towards Suning in game 1 was they're an early game based team. They can get these early game leads, but can they execute the finishing blow? This time they did. They managed to pick a fight around Baron, set it up, and took down Rogue Warriors.
You say game 1, I say the entirety of the damn existence of Suning Gaming. But they finally do it. Strong control around Baron. They have it for themselves. The only blemish is the fact that Jarvan went the opposite side. So this team fight was looking a little scary. But he comes back. They just bulldoze through Rogue Warriors. And even though they were ahead, they've had these moments where they are so ahead of the pace in terms of against their opposition. And they just stall it for no reason. This time around, they're right on top of Baron. They pick it up for themselves. Even if they didn't pick it up, the fight that turned was properly done so.
I mean, it was a couple of kills and a single turret away almost from a perfect game coming out from Suning. This is really good for them moving into cross-conference because when we went into Rift Rivals, Suning was sitting at 3-3. Very similar position to what they were during Spring Split, where they were just hovering between 3rd and 4th place. And if you remember going to cross-conference and then finally playoffs, Jindo were able to sneak past them and steal that playoff spot. So to see that now they're bringing in a new mid laner, better quality of matches. We saw the early game being phenomenal in game 1, but not able to execute in the finish. Now game 2 being near perfect. This is good signs of life coming out from Suning.
Yeah, a lot of great things are happening there. Not only is Rogue Warriors in the opposite side, so they don't even have to worry about them beefing up the top side of the Eastern Conference. BLG, who got traded over, are doing remarkably poorly. I love the combination. I'm just going to use those combinations of word more often. Remarkably poorly, BLG. So they're on the bottom side of the Eastern Conference, which means that Suning Gaming has a better chance of hitting the top 4, along with just playing well.
Yeah, they need to continue picking up as much points as they possibly can during cross-conference because they look like a playoff-based team, and a good step for them would be to able to take down Rogue Warriors. We're going to go into a remarkably poor break. We'll be back with game number 3 in just a bit.
枢纽队员不会为遗憾找借口，必须变强，必须进步。